a good governor can only be good if the people that she or he appoints are really solid. I'm Mark Stewart. I expect to be a very good governor for the state of Connecticut, and I want to let you in on the types of people that I'm looking to now, without naming names, who would be getting appointment invitations and hopefully approvals from the General Assembly. I will start with the Board of Pardons. You don't hear much about these 5 people, but it's very important for justice. And I do think there have been some injustices that have been publicized, some that clearly haven't been publicized, and many that we could avert with good, grounded people who are interested in standards and penalizing people and protecting us from people who would be menacing us if they got out too early. But potentially forgiving people who might be very productive from day one outside of prison, and certainly open to people who might have been unjustly convicted. I don't contend that there are many of them. However, there have been problems in representation, and I think those deserve to be brought to the Board of Pardons. A governor can't himself pardon, okay? All a governor can do is grant reprieves. Now, there's one thing that our current board doesn't seem to include in its mission. They talk about lowering recidivism. They talk in the website anyway about rehabilitation of criminals. I don't see anything about restitution, the repaying the victims for what you've done. And I want to put that squarely in front of the Connecticut voters, because not only is one family victimized by a crime, every one of us have to beware and are sometimes overly scared because of one crime in the neighborhood. So your crime is not just repaid if you make that one victim whole. Sometimes you can't make that victim whole. And either way, there's a societal aspect. I want people who are looking for pardons to be doing something from their jail cell. That can be on the computer. That can be on the phone still. To help make the next community better. You haven't done any of that? Don't request a pardon of me or my board. All right, next, I want to talk about the Labor Board. The Labor Board has a very good chief right now. I like him a lot. I worry about the underlings who are too sympathetic to people who don't want to work. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're unemployed and not looking to become employed, I'm not going to support you. I don't want board members who are just going to say, oh, we feel bad, so you're going to get your check anyway. Sorry, that's not what unemployment insurance is supposed to do. And there are plenty of small employers who've been contributing over and over and over. They lose a staffer, downsizing, and they are paying way too long for somebody who wants to stay on the couch and get a check. That's got to end. Number 3, DEEP. DEEP for Environmental Protection is a generally good agency, but at times listens too much to the extreme environmentalists. And here's what I mean by extreme. They're not in it for protecting the environment. These are people who want to damage the standards of society. They are Marxists, and they use environmental arguments very skillfully to thwart progress. My DEEP is going to be to keep progress and keep clean water and keep clean air, improve all of these things, but not based on fictions and not based on somebody's motivation to take down a big company just because they're big. Lastly, I want to talk about the Commissioner of Fun. No, it's not a department yet, but I do believe that a state board of enticing people to Connecticut, businesses and casual travelers, should be done more forcefully by the state. We have a travel and tourism bureau, but it's a little too quiet. So let's set up something else that ostensibly is out there to lure to what Connecticut already has. We don't have to build anything else. I used to travel out west to ski 3 or 4 trips a year. I'm doing none this winter because there's good skiing here. And in the summer, there's beaching here, lakes, rivers. If you're interested in different activities, there are arts festivals, there's science festivals. There's so much right here that goes unheralded. And I think the state does have a legitimate function in building up itself. So it is worth spending some money that almost certainly comes back in spades. It's like an investment. And once again, I do think Connecticut should be run much more like a business. We will all prosper that way. So those are a few things you can expect from me. Judicial, I'm holding off on. Very complex. We will talk about that in May.